All right, get ready, because today we're going deep on this amazing story, the incredible rise of chess prodigy Gukesh. This 18-year-old is not just playing chess, he's like rewriting the rule book. And get this, he's on track to challenge for the World Championship title.
It's really something, you know. What's fascinating about Gukesh's story is just how fast he's climbed to the top. It's not just talent, it's way more than that. It's raw ability, strategic brilliance, and this almost unbelievable dedication to the game.
So let's rewind all the way back. Gukesh starts playing at 7 years old. Pretty standard age for kids to pick up chess.
Okay.
But here's where things get really interesting. He gets his FIDE rating, which is the official international ranking, within 6 months. 6 months. I mean, most kids are still trying to figure out how to move the pieces at that point.
Exactly. Most kids aren't Gukesh. I mean, to reach that level that quickly, it really suggests an almost, I don't know, like a preternatural understanding of chess. It's like he was born with chess strategy and coded into his DNA or something.
So it's not just talent, it's something more, something deeper.
Oh, absolutely. There's natural ability, yeah, no doubt. But what truly sets Gukesh apart is his drive to improve. Even as a young boy, he was spending hours every single day just studying the game, analyzing Grandmaster matches, just constantly honing his skills.
And you can see this dedication paying off early on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he wins the Under-9 Asian Schools Chess Championship in 2015. Then, boom, just 3 years later, he crushes the Asian Youth Chess Championships, taking home 5 gold medals.
Yeah, those early wins, they were critical. They weren't just trophies. They were like building blocks, shaping his mental game. And, you know, chess at its core, it's a psychological battle. And those victories, they instilled in Gukesh this confidence and resilience that he'd need to become a Grandmaster.
And speaking of Grandmaster, he achieved that title at the age of 12 years, 7 months, and 17 days. I mean, come on, it's almost impossible. He becomes the 3rd youngest Grandmaster ever, barely missing Sergei Karjakin's record.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, the Grandmaster title, it's the pinnacle of achievement in chess. It's a level of mastery that most players, you know, they dream of reaching that level. And Gukesh earned it while kids his age were, I don't know, worried about homework or whatever.
Okay, so he's a Grandmaster, but he doesn't stop there. He goes on to become the youngest player to hit a 2750 rating. And then in September 2023, bam, he surpasses Viswanathan Anand, a 5-time world champion, to become India's top-ranked player. This is like a rookie basketball player suddenly outplaying, I don't know, LeBron James.
Yeah, exactly. It's huge. Overtaking Anand is massive. I mean, Anand is a legend, someone who's dominated chess for decades. Gukesh's achievement, it signals a changing of the guard, you know, it's a new era in Indian chess.
And this new era is on full display at the 2022 Chess Olympiad in Chennai. Gukesh just goes on a tear, scoring an unheard of 8 out of 8 in his first matches, including a win against former World Championship challenger Fabiano Caruana.
Oh yeah, Caruana. I mean, an 8 out of 8 score at that level of competition, you just don't see that. It's proof of his incredible consistency and his ability to perform under pressure. And beating Caruana, a total veteran, that was a statement win. Like, he was signaling that he was ready to take on the world's elite.
And that's exactly what he does at the 2024 FIDE Candidates Tournament. This is the tournament that decides who gets to challenge the world champion. It's like the ultimate test. And Gukesh doesn't just compete, he wins the whole thing, taking down top-ranked players like Alireza Firouzja and Hikaru Nakamura along the way.
The Candidates Tournament, that's a pressure cooker. It's not just about skill, it's about mental toughness. Can you withstand intense pressure and make the right decisions when everything's on the line? Gukesh's victory, it showed his unwavering focus, his ability to rise to the occasion.
And now he's set to face Ding Liren, the current world champion. It's going to be historic. But before we get into that, I want to go back to something you mentioned before. Gukesh's training methods. I've already actually limited his use of computers early on. That's pretty unusual, right?
Yeah, it is. In today's chess world, computer analysis is everywhere. Players rely heavily on these powerful chess engines to analyze openings, to evaluate positions, even to suggest moves. But Gukesh, for a good chunk of his early development, he chose to focus on his own intuition, his ability to calculate and see the patterns on the board himself.
So instead of relying on a computer to tell him the best move, he's actually thinking several steps ahead on his own.
That's exactly it. And this approach, it's unconventional for sure, but it might have given him a unique edge. It allowed him to develop a deeper understanding of the game, a more intuitive feel for the nuances of chess that you might not even get from the most advanced algorithms.
Wow, that's fascinating. It's like he's a master craftsman, honing his skills through practice and dedication, while others are taking shortcuts with power tools. But does this approach ever put him at a disadvantage? especially when he's facing opponents who are relying heavily on computer analysis?
Well, it's a good question. There are arguments on both sides. Some might say Gukesh's limited use of computer analysis could leave him vulnerable, especially in those highly theoretical openings or complex endgames where computers really excel. But then again, his deep understanding of the game and his ability to think independently, that could give him an edge in situations where the computer's recommendations might not be as effective.
So it's a trade-off. He might sacrifice some of the precision and calculation power of a computer, but in return, he gains a deeper understanding of the game and a more intuitive feel for the position.
Exactly. It's like comparing a painter who uses a digital art program to create photorealistic images versus a painter who uses traditional techniques to create art that might be less precise, but it's imbued with a unique human touch. Both approaches have their strengths, and ultimately it comes down to the individual's strengths and preferences.
And in Gukesh's case, it seems like this unconventional approach has really paid off. But let's shift gears to his playing style. I've heard it described as aggressive, fearless, even a bit ruthless. What is it about his style that makes him such a tough opponent?
Well, Gukesh is known for his sharp attacking style. He's not content with just defending or waiting for his opponent to slip up. He's always looking for ways to create threats, to put pressure on his opponent, to force them into making uncomfortable decisions.
So he's a risk taker, someone who's not afraid to sacrifice pieces or go for those complex tactical sequences.
Absolutely. He's calculated, of course, but he's also not afraid to push the boundaries, to create chaos on the board and capitalize on any opportunity his opponent gives him.
And this aggressive style, combined with his youthful fearlessness, it must make him a nightmare to play against.
Oh, I bet it is.
But I imagine it also requires a deep understanding of tactics and the ability to calculate variations far ahead in the game.
You're exactly right. Gukesh's aggressive style is built on a foundation of exceptional tactical vision and calculation ability. He can see combinations that other players miss, and he's not afraid to sacrifice material if he sees a path to victory, even if it means going through a complex and risky series of moves.
That's what makes his game so exciting to watch. It's like watching a high-wire act. Every move could lead to brilliance or disaster. But let's not forget the human element here. We can't talk about Gukesh's journey without mentioning the role of mentorship, especially the guidance he's gotten from Viswanathan Anand himself.
Anand's mentorship has been so valuable. He's not only helped Gukesh improve his technical skills, but also guided him on the mental aspects of the game, the psychological battles that happen off the board.
That's a great point. The pressure on a young prodigy like Gukesh has to be immense. Having someone like Anand, a veteran who's been at the top, to guide him through those challenges, it must be incredibly helpful.
Absolutely. Anand has been a mentor, a confidant, and a source of inspiration for Gukesh. His guidance has definitely played a huge role in Gukesh's development, both as a player and as a person.
And we can't forget about the constant support of Gukesh's family, especially his father, who's been there every step of the way.
For sure. Behind every great athlete, every successful person, there's usually a strong support system, a network of people who believe in them, encourage them, and help them navigate the challenges. Gukesh's family has been that rock, giving him the stability and encouragement he needed to pursue his passion with full focus.
So we have this incredible talent, a unique training approach, a fearless playing style, and a supportive environment that's allowed him to thrive. It's no wonder he's achieved so much so young. But what does it all mean? What does Gukesh's rise tell us about the future of chess?
Well, Gukesh's story shows us that even in a game as old and well-studied as chess, there's always room for innovation, for new approaches, for young talents to challenge the establishment. His success is a sign that the future of chess is bright, that a new generation of players is emerging, bringing with them fresh perspectives and a willingness to push the boundaries of what's possible.
That's exciting to think about. It feels like we're on the verge of a new era in chess, an era where young players like Gukesh are leading the charge. But we'll have to wait for part 2 of this deep dive to explore that more.
Definitely. In the next part, we'll get into Gukesh's upcoming World Championship match against Ding Liren. We'll analyze their styles, their strengths and weaknesses. We'll talk about what this match means for the future of chess, and whether Gukesh can take down the reigning champion to claim the ultimate prize.
I can't wait to unpack all of that. But for now, we'll have to leave our listeners in suspense, eagerly waiting for the next chapter in this incredible story.
It's going to be good. Welcome back. It's amazing to think about how Gukesh's journey has gotten him ready for this huge clash against Ding Liren.
It really is. It's almost like each step in his career, those early wins, his unusual training, it's all been leading up to this.
Yeah, it's like destiny or something. And now he's facing Ding Liren, the world champion, a player known for his positional mastery and incredible defense. It's like the classic battle. The young, aggressive challenger versus the experienced, strategic champ.
So let's unpack this matchup a little. What are Gukesh's chances against someone like Ding Liren? He's been at the top of the chess world for so long, and he's also the first Chinese player to win the title, right?
Yeah, that's right. On paper, Ding Liren definitely has the edge. He's got the experience of playing at the highest level, dealing with the crazy pressure of a world championship match. He's known for slowly squeezing his opponents, waiting for that perfect moment to strike.
But Gukesh has already shown he can beat those experienced players. I mean, he took down Caruana and Nakamura in the Candidates Tournament.
Yeah.
Both of them are veterans.
You're right, he did. And that's where Gukesh's youth and fearlessness could be his biggest advantages. He's not trying to defend a title, he's going all out, giving it everything he's got. This could make him more likely to take risks, to push Ding Liren out of his comfort zone.
And his aggressive style, that constant search for attacks, might be just the thing to disrupt Ding Liren's patient approach. It could force him into making mistakes he normally wouldn't.
Exactly. If Gukesh can cause some chaos early on, he might be able to rattle Ding Liren, stop him from getting into his usual rhythm.
Okay, so we've got this clash of styles, this young prodigy taking on a seasoned champion. But what specifically will you be watching for in this match? What could decide the outcome?
Well, for me, it all comes down to how Gukesh handles the pressure. This is the World Championship, the biggest stage there is in chess. Can he stay calm, stay focused against someone like Ding Liren, who is known for being mentally tough?
It's one thing to win the Candidates Tournament, but the World Championship is a whole other level. It's a longer format, so much more demanding, both mentally and physically.
Absolutely, it's a marathon. And that's where Ding Liren's experience could really matter. He's been here before. He knows how to pace himself, how to deal with the ups and downs of a match that can go on for weeks.
But, maybe Gukesh's lack of experience could actually help him. He might be less weighed down by expectations, more willing to experiment, to play with that youthful freedom that's gotten him this far.
It could go either way. That lack of experience could lead to some big mistakes, but it could also free him up to play more instinctively, more creatively.
And we can't forget about preparation. Both players are going to have teams of analysts working nonstop, trying to guess each other's moves, trying to find any weakness in their opponent's game.
And that's where Gukesh's unique training, that limited use of computer assistance, might come in handy.
Do you think it could give him a different perspective, a deeper understanding of the game that could surprise Ding Liren?
It's definitely possible. We've talked about how Gukesh really focused on developing his instincts and calculation skills from the beginning. This could be a real advantage in those crucial moments when the pressure's on and he has to calculate in his head, not on a screen.
Wow, it's amazing to think that in this age of supercomputers and algorithms, it might be a human's intuition that could decide the match.
And remember, this match is bigger than just one person winning. It has implications for the future of chess, especially in their countries.
That's right. Ding Liren's win was huge for China, a country that's been getting stronger and stronger in the chess world. And if Gukesh wins, he'd be the first Indian to hold the title since Viswanathan Anand.
Exactly. It's not just about who wins, it's about what their victory represents, the rise of new chess powerhouses, how the game is changing globally.
Okay, so let's say Gukesh pulls it off. He beats Ding Liren, becomes the new world champion. What does that mean for chess as a whole? What kind of impact would that have?
Oh, it would be a massive shift. It would be a new era led by a young prodigy who plays in a way that's both exciting and unpredictable. It would inspire so many young players, showing them that anything is possible with hard work and passion.
It would prove that human intuition, the ability to think for yourself, can still triumph, even in a game that's becoming more and more reliant on computers.
And it would definitely put India back on the map as a chess powerhouse. It would be a moment of national pride, a celebration of all the chess talent in India.
But even if Gukesh doesn't win this time, just getting to the World Championship at his age is an amazing achievement. It's clear that he's here to stay, that he's going to be a major force in the chess world for years to come.
Oh, absolutely. This is just the start of his journey, and no matter what happens, this match is going to be legendary.
Okay, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I have to ask, are you willing to make a prediction? Who do you think will win this epic battle?
Predicting a chess match at this level is like trying to predict the weather, There are so many factors, so many possibilities. But if I had to choose, I'd give Ding Liren a slight edge because of his experience. But don't underestimate Gukesh. He's a force to be reckoned with, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if he wins.
That's what makes this matchup so thrilling. It's a true clash of titans, a battle between two brilliant minds, each one representing a different generation, a different way of playing the game.
And we'll be back soon to break down the key moments of the match, the strategic decisions, the mental battles that will ultimately decide who wins.
It's going to be fascinating. Welcome back to the deep dive. It feels like we've been holding our breaths for weeks watching this incredible match between Gukesh and Ding Liren.
Yeah, it's been a total roller coaster. So many brilliant moves and surprises, moments of pure genius from both players.
So let's jump right into the heart of it. What were some of those key moments, the turning points that decided who won?
Well, I think those first few games were really important. They set the tone. Gukesh came out swinging, playing super aggressively, putting a ton of pressure on Ding Liren. He was making Ding Liren defend constantly.
Like in Game 5, right? Gukesh's attack was relentless. He sacrificed a rook to open up Ding Liren's king. It was risky, but it worked brilliantly.
Oh, yeah. That game was a statement for sure. It showed Gukesh wasn't afraid of the world champion. He was there to fight for every point.
But Ding Liren, he doesn't get rattled easily. He's known for being so resilient, weathering any storm. And in Game 9, we saw that experience pay off.
Yeah, Ding Liren managed to outmaneuver Gukesh in this really complex endgame. He squeezed out a win, even though his position wasn't great. It was a reminder that he wasn't giving up his title without a fight.
It was a huge win for him, tied up the score, and brought him right back into it. But then came Game 11, and man, that was a game for the history books.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Gukesh, playing with the black pieces, went for this super sharp theoretical opening. It was risky, but it pushed Ding Liren out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then in the middle game, Gukesh unleashed this series of incredible tactical shots, finishing with this amazing queen sacrifice.
Oh.
I'm still trying to understand that queen sacrifice. It was a move that only a player with unbelievable vision and confidence would even think about.
It was a masterpiece, pure chess brilliance. It showed how deeply Gukesh understands the game, and his willingness to take those calculated risks. It forced Ding Liren to resign, and Gukesh took the lead again.
The momentum had totally shifted. You could see it in how they were playing, their body language, everything. Gukesh was full of confidence, while Ding Liren looked a little shaken.
He did, but he fought back hard, winning Game 12 to even the score again. But you could just feel the pressure building, the stakes getting higher with every game.
And then those final two games, Games 13 and 14, these were must-win games for both of them. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. The whole chess world was watching.
Game 13 was a draw, a real nail-biter where both players had chances. It all came down to the last game, Game 14. Winner takes all.
It was electric. Everyone was on the edge of their seat, waiting to see who would win this epic battle.
And it was Gukesh who did it. He played a perfect game, outmaneuvering Ding Liren in this super complex positional struggle. And finally, Ding Liren had to resign.
At 18 years old, Gukesh became the youngest world chess champion ever. It's unbelievable, truly remarkable. It was the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, a journey that started when he's just a kid in Chennai.
It's truly inspiring how Gukesh beat the odds, overcoming that experience gap, defeating a champion like Ding Liren on the biggest stage. It shows his incredible mental strength, his ability to handle pressure, and his unwavering self-belief.
His victory is a testament to what can happen when raw talent meets pure dedication. It's a powerful message to young players everywhere. With hard work and passion, you can achieve anything.
Gukesh's story is a beacon of hope, proving that age doesn't matter when it comes to greatness. He's brought in a new era of chess, one where young players are challenging the old ways and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the rise of this amazing young man. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm just filled with awe and excitement for what's next in the world of chess.
Me too. Gukesh's win is a sign that chess is changing, new champions are rising, and the future is bright.
So to all the aspiring Gukeshes out there, keep chasing your dreams, keep pushing those limits, and never stop believing in yourself. The world is waiting to see what you can do.